Over the last 20 years, I've noticed these seemingly interminable debates over how to define the word atheist. Some people say an atheist is a person who believes there is no God. Others say, no, that's not what atheism is. Atheism is the view that you are without belief in God or that you lack belief in God, not that you believe there is no God. Atheism is not a commitment to something, it's just a lack of something. I mean, who is right? I don't find these to be a particularly helpful debates to get into the debate about who is right, because words can mean many things. Just consider the case of milk. Milk, in one sense, is a liquid food that is produced by the mammary glands of mammals. But some people say that this is milk, even though it's oat concentrate and filtered water. They call it oat milk. Is oat milk really milk? Depends, right? Depends how you're using the word milk. Are you using the word milk to refer simply to the liquid food that is produced by the mammary glands of mammals? Or do you also use the word milk to encompass non-dairy products, which are similar to cow's milk in texture, taste, appearance? If the latter, then this is milk. If the former, then it's not. It's not that hard. The issue is to recognize, first of all, that people can, again, they can have different uses of the same word. They become different terms depending on how they're being used. And also to appreciate there is this phenomena called semantic drift. That words take on new meanings and sometimes lose old meanings over time. And this is just a natural product. It's the evolution of language itself. The word atheist in ancient Greek civilization, atheos, meant to be without belief in God or to lack belief in God or to be against belief in God. But atheos in the ancient world had a very precise usage. It was used in such a way that it was relative to a particular understanding of God. For example, the Greeks called the early Christians atheos because they rejected the Greek gods. And the Christians responded in kind by referring to the Greeks as atheos because they rejected the Christian God. Each side is calling the other one atheos. And they could both be right because relative to their community, anybody who denied their understanding of God was atheos. When we move into the modern period, really beginning just before the Enlightenment and then into the Enlightenment of the 18th century and onwards, atheist took on a more generalized meaning, where atheist was the denial of the belief in God just as such, that there was any divine personal agent, you could say. Although here, even there is an inherent ambiguity, because atheist is always contingent upon the definition of theist, the thing that it is denying or negating. So, what does it mean to be a theist? And of course, people don't agree on that. Some people think to be a theist means to believe in a personal God, a personal agent. Other people believe that to be a theist is just to believe in some spiritual or supernatural or non physical reality that transcends the material universe and perhaps has some sort of interrelationship with that universe. Others would say, well, that's a pantheist. And others would say, no, that's not anything at all. So it all depends how you're using the word. The word has always had these complexities to it. Enter back to the last 20 years or so, and there's been further semantic drift. People have moved from saying atheist is the negation, the denial of the existence of God, to more people saying it is simply lack of belief in God. And again, now we're back to, well, is this oat milk or is it just an oat drink, which really has no relationship with milk? And the reality is the concept of milk has the same semantic drift and diversity of meaning. It's polysemous, it has many different meanings, just as atheist does. So rather than squabble over who has the right to call themselves an atheist or not, I think we should all just be clear on how we are defining terms and why we are defining them in a particular way. It is worth pointing out if a person is calling themselves an atheist simply because they lack belief in God, that would be what was historically called weak agnosticism, which was distinct from atheism. But having recognized that, if a person wants to call themselves an atheist and if atheism now has encompassed the concept of weak agnosticism, so be it. That's just the way language flows.